Hi friends, hope all of you are doing well and welcome to my channel English Fluency Lab where I help you improve your English language skills. Friends, in this video, I'm going to talk to you about 6 things you need to remember about modal verbs. Now friends, modal verbs are something which can be very confusing to some English language learners. But before you learn when and how to use modal verbs, it is very important to learn some basics. And that is exactly what I'm going to do in this video. So let's dive into it straight away. So friends, first of all, what are modal verbs? Now, a modal verb is a type of auxiliary verb or helping verb that is used to talk about ability, probability, permission, obligation, advice, and requests. So you use modal verb in all these scenarios. Now, the 9 modal verbs are can, could, would, should, shall, will, may, might, and must. So these are the 9 modal verbs, and let us understand the 6 basic qualities about modal verbs. So let's get started. So quality number 1. Now, modal verbs have only one form. You cannot add s or ed or ing to make any other modification. Now, friends, if you have learnt about verbs, you must be knowing that every verb, in fact, most of the verbs have 3 forms. They have a base form, they have a past form, and they have the past participle. Unfortunately, with modal verbs, you have no form. You have only one form, and you cannot add anything to them. So you have to think of modal verbs as superheroes. If, Superman and Batman never change their outfits, right? So modal verbs are also something which do not change. So think of modal verbs as superheroes. So you cannot add s or ed or ing or anything else to a modal verb. So that's quality number 1 of a modal verbs or of modal verbs. Let's move on to quality number 2. Now, modals are used together with a main verb. Now, whenever you have to make a sentence, you have to use modal verb with the main verb. Let's look at an example. Let's say the modal verb is can, the main verb is play, and the sentence is I can play the guitar, right? So you have the modal verb can and you have used the main verb play. Now the sentence is making sense. I can play the guitar, right? In this sentence, the modal can is used together with the main verb play. The modal can expresses ability and it is followed by the base form of the verb play. So a modal verb will only make sense when it is used with the main verb. All right. So that is the second quality of a modal verb. Let's move on to number 3. You cannot use helping verbs like do, does, did with modals because the modal themselves already function as helping verbs. Yes, the modal verbs sometimes become helping verbs. Okay, let us take an example. Modal 1, will. Modal 2, can. Now both of these are modal verbs, right? Sentence, I can play the guitar. Now friends, this is a completely wrong sentence. You cannot use will and can, 2 modal verbs in the same sentence. Okay, so here it is said that this sentence is incorrect because it includes 2 modals, will and can used together. Remember that you cannot put 2 modals together in English. Instead, you should use one modal that suits the intended meaning. So that is a third thing. You cannot use 2 modal verbs in the same sentence. All right. Let us move on to number 4. Number 4 is never use to between a modal verb and the main verb, right? I told you one of the rules that you have to use modal verb with a main verb, but you cannot use to between a modal verb and the main verb. Let's take an example. Modal verb is can, main verb is swim. Now, if you take the sentence, I can to swim, this is a wrong sentence. You cannot put to between the modal verb and the main verb. Right? In this example, this sentence, I can to swim is incorrect. Instead, the correct sentence should be, I can swim. The modal verb can express ability and it is followed directly by the base form of the verb swim. So that is the 4th rule, friends. You cannot use the word to between a modal verb and the main verb. All right. Let's move on to number 5. What does number 5 say? To make the negative form of a modal verb, add not immediately after it. Let's take an example. Modal verb is can, negative sentence, I cannot swim, right? Explanation, so what have you done out here? You have added the word not to make it a negative sentence. In this example, the modal verb can is used to express ability. To form the negative sentence, we add not immediately after the modal verb, resulting in cannot, right? Therefore, instead of saying I can swim, we say I cannot swim to indicate the inability to swim. So if you want to make a negative sentence with a modal verb, you have to add the word not. Okay, so that is the 5th characteristic of modal verbs. Let us look at the final one. Number 6 is To make a question with a modal verb, put it in front of the subject, right? Let me make that clear. Can you look over this paper? You is the subject out here and you have put the modal verb can before that. Will they be coming for dinner? They is the subject and you have put the modal verb will before that. Should I get a tattoo? I is the subject and you have put should before that. Okay, so to make a question, use a modal verb, put it in front of the subject. Then it will make complete sense. You can also add a question word before the modal verb. What is a question word, friends? Question word are words like who, whom, how, when. So you can use a question word. For example, where can I get some copies made? Can is the modal verb and where is the question word. When will they arrive? Will is the modal verb and when is the modal verb, right? And how should we proceed? Should is the modal verb and how is the question word. So the second quality is that you can add a question word before the modal verb. So friends, these are the 6 qualities of modal verbs. I will be doing another video on how and when to use the modal verbs, each of them. So if you have liked this video, please give me a like. Please subscribe to my channel. And please do press the bell because I keep coming up with videos like these to help you improve your English language skills. Thank you, and I will see you in the next one.